My name is Danny Un, and I'm currently the president of Golden Stella. Golden Stella is the nation's leading online women's wholesale accessories provider. Back in the early 80s, my parents, after they got married, they had to figure out what to do with their lives. They were currently, at that time, helping out at my grandparents' restaurant, which was the first Korean restaurant in Atlanta. But they had to figure something out, and my mom had done a little bit of wholesale work in New York when she was 19 before she moved to Atlanta. So she had a couple of connections there, and it started out with her and my dad going to these vendors, going to trade shows, making those connections, and really the America's Mart in downtown Atlanta is a wholesale mart. So that building provided the base, but my parents' connection and know-how really set the foundation for the future of Golden Stella. I started off as a kid coming in building boxes, and then I went to high school, graduated college, came back, worked here for 5 years, decided to venture off and start my own business, did that for 7 years, and then now I've been back in this business for about 7 years. My mom and dad, well, my late dad, they started the business. My aunt was heavily involved in the early years, and then now I've taken over. Initially, the frustrations were battles actually against my parents, right? So they have this established, well-done business. And then here I come with these fresh new ideas, and they're looking at me like, we're not hurting for business. We're actually crushing it. And a lot of the ideas you're bringing to us, they're either foreign or they require a heavy investment. And again, they were crushing it. So they were like, do we really need to do that? Especially when they didn't understand. But unfortunately, my father passed away quite recently, and so that has created a lot of maybe a new direction, which is ironic because for so long I was pushing it, and then now that he's gone, I'm almost a little more reluctant, like, okay, so what was it about my dad? What were some of the things he was had more reservation on, or understanding finance, and especially when you get into like the high 7 figures, it becomes very complicated, and it's not so simple as in money in, money out. And that was never my strength. Even when I went to Auburn, I remember a lot of the finance classes wasn't my strength. One of the things that we were able to do was my dad was with an accountant forever, this old school Korean guy, and I'm pretty sure they were still sharing some documents via fax, right? So it was very, very old school. But ever since I've been with King & Kings, especially with my meetings with Karen, she breaks down my business, my numbers, my costs, all the basic stuff down to me as if I was somebody who needed to be properly educated from the beginning. And I've never gotten any frustration from her or any condescending tone like, how come you don't know this? How come you not, right? It was always like, oh, more than happy to explain it to you. Let me help you so you can do better business. So then in turn, it's like synchronicity between her and I. I really feel a connection. But as far as like working with King & Kings, everything's online. I do my meetings once, twice a week. I can come into the office and see you guys if I want to. On top of Karen herself, the staff, like I love your staff. From the person who greets me to the person who's assisting Karen it's been amazing, and it's been very smooth. I could tell you guys run more like a family atmosphere, even amongst each other, and I can feel that it bleeds over to us as well. I think one of the most important things that me and my 2 brothers have said was, a lot of my father's words are crystal clear in our heads now. It all crystallized with us right as he passed. I know that a lot of those lessons have been helpful in our life, and now we're going to be applying it to business. And I'm actually excited because I feel like between me and my brothers and having my dad's lessons, we can really push this thing forward and create something new and bigger.